Okay, so you are welcome back once again to iSoft Original official channel. Maybe this may be your first time watching this video. Then I recommend you to go back and watch the previous video so that you get a better understanding of what we are doing. We are working on how to spice our software, how to get a better UI design in VB.NET, and boom, there you go. On our previous lesson, this is the outcome of what we did. So on today's video, we're just gonna dive right into the coding, and we're just gonna see how these UI is gonna work. First of all, I would like for us to work on this draggable guy here. You see that it's not draggable, so I just like for us to work within this draggable guy. So to get going with that, you just have to double click on this guy right here. Double click on that. This is a panel paint, right? That is a panel 1. So just click on this panel 1 and you just search for mouse move, right? So just have mouse move event. So we have this mouse move, so you delete this, and we're going to go in for mouse app as well. So make sure you have this panel 1 selected. Select this mouse app, so you just see mouse app, then you select mouse down. You see, so this is what we have to do. Okay, so first of all, let's come to the top here, then let's start to declare some statements right here. So the statement, what we are going to say is let's declare a private is mouse down as boolean, right, which is equals to false, of course. And let's say private mouse, let's say mouse offset as point, right? Okay, so now we have these two statements declared. So now let's go to our mouse move, which is our mouse move first. Let's go to our mouse move, and let's say if it's mouse down, right? So let's say that, okay, if it's mouse down, which is our mouse down, so we will just say that if it's mouse down, then we just have to say, then let's declare a mouse pose as point. So the mouse pose is gonna refer to as a mouse position, right? So just gonna say control dot mouse position, right? Control dot mouse position. So from that, we will just say that then our mouse pose dot offset, right? The offset of that is going to be our mouse offset dot x, and we say that our mouse offset dot y, right? This is quite interesting. So after that, we just say me dot location equals to mouse pose, right? And this is all we have to say. Now let's go to the mouse app. So this is the mouse app, and what we're going to say, if, so just going to say that if e dot button, right, equals to Windows form dot mouse button dot left. So we're just gonna go for this first guy. Then we're just gonna say then is mouse down equals to false, because we declared it as a boolean. So that is it. Then now let's go to the mouse down, right? So if e dot button equals to Windows form, and what we're going to say is we're just going to use the same left, and we just say then all we will say that we'll just say that okay, for this mouse down, all we're just going to say is mouse offset equals to new point, and this new point is just gonna be minus e dot x, and we're just gonna say minus e dot y, right? Okay, so we have this here, and we're just gonna say it's it's mouse down equals true. Right, so we have this, and this is what we've done so far. All right, so all we have to do is we just have to start, and now we just have to drag, and you see that it's very movable, right? So it's very movable. So this little code here is just gonna do the magic, right? Now let me show you one trick or one tip of how to get a movable background in Visual Studio. You can see that this is it, but when I click on this login, it's not moving, right? When I click on these two labels, they are not moving. So how can I do this so that it will be movable with this? It's basically, the trick is very simple. You could see that at the end of let's say at the end of this handle, you see that we have handles panel 1 mouse down, right? So all we have to do is just click on this, check the name of this, that is label 2, right? And this is label 3. Good. So you just have to go back and you just say comma label 2 dot mouse down. So just gonna say mouse down, right, comma label 3 dot mouse down, right? Just like that. And you come here, you say label 2 dot mouse move, comma label 3 dot mouse move. So just like that. Then we come to the mouse app. So from here we're just gonna add the same event to everything. So we're just gonna say label 2 dot mouse app, then we say label 3 dot mouse app, right? Just like this. So after that, don't forget to save your project, and let's click on this start guy to see. Now when I click on any of these, I can move it, right? And they are all movable, and this is also awesome, right? Good. So this is how we work with draggables and all that. So let's see, we're gonna keep it simple but neat. So let's go back to our code, to our UI design. Let's double click on this, right? So all we have to say is, now in this method we have a lot of ways dealing with dialogues, right? You can decide to work within dialogues, and working within dialogues, it depends on how you want it to appear. You can decide to call a function for a message box to pop up before closing the software. So let's do that. So just gonna say dim ask, or let's say dim dialog as msg box results, which is equals to msg box. So we're just gonna say msg box, and within this msg box, all we have to say is our message right here. So just say, are you sure you want to close this application, right? So we have this, and then we add a comma, and from this comma, this is where we add the message box style, right? So this box style, I would like to use yes or no, right? So this box style is going to be yes or no, right? Okay, so we have this yes or no, and this is what is going to happen whenever we start the software or whenever we click on this guy. So this is what is going to pop up, right? So it says, are you sure you want to close? When I click yes, nothing happens. When I click no, nothing happens. All right, so let's see how we can work within this for this to work amazingly. So then we will then say that, okay, if our dialogue, if our dialogue equals to message box dialogue, which is yes, when we click on yes, then we're just going to say application dot exit, right? So else nothing. That means if we click on yes, this is what it's going to do. If we click on no, this is what it's going to do, right? So let's take a look at that. So we click on this, no, nothing happens. But when we click on yes, that is going to absolutely end our application. So these are some basic tips you have to get, you have to understand, to keep you moving, right? So I believe this meets to your understanding. I'm trying as much as possible to get this text very, very big, but I think I'm not getting anything like that. Okay, so let's see the next thing we want to do. Let's see the next thing. So the next thing, let's try to keep this up, right? So let's see something. To keep this up, you could see that automatically when I type anything here, it's hidden, right? So I want to click on this to reveal this, and at the same time when I click on this, I want you to hide it, right? Okay, so let's do that right now, and let's see how it works. But before we do that, I would like for us to go to let me just maximize this. Good. I'd like for us to go to project, advanced UI design properties, then we go to the resource tab. Now let's add a new resource by adding an existing file. So we go to our desktop icons, then I'm just going to add the hide, right? So open. Now I have the hide here. This is the show, this is the hide, right? This is the show, this is the hide. Now remember very, very well. Okay, so whilst we are done with this, let's quickly go back to our main form here, and this is what we're going to do. Double click on this guy, right? And this is what we're going to say. If txt password sorry dot password char equals to, then we just have to say is equals to nothing. Let's say is equals to this, then we just have to say that that is visible, right? So btn hide or show dot image, right, equals to mine dot resources dot, so we just have to switch to hide, all right, or let's say hide or show or secure or whatever it is, right? So we're just gonna say it's just gonna be secure, then we say else, then we're just gonna say btn hide or show dot image equals to my dot resources dot show, right? And we're just gonna say if it is this, then we're just gonna say password txt password dot password char equals to this, right? Then we just have to copy this, and we're just gonna say okay, it's gonna be this sign. Okay, so now let's see how it works. So we have something here, and you click on this. Okay, so you could see that the images are changing, right? The images are changing, but the codes are working perfectly fine, right? So all we have to do is just go back to your advanced UI, that is hide, right? So you just want to go back, and all you have to say is enter into the code. Instead of secure, you're just going to say hide. Hide, I think, is it going to be hide? Hide. Good. So this is it, and let's see. So I write something here. Okay, so it is working, and that is very, very fantastic. All right, now let's see how we could work within this guy, right? Okay, so now when we click on this reset, we want to reset the whole thing, right? So we want to clear. So all we have to say is txt username dot text. We're just gonna say dot clear, right? Just like that. Txt password dot clear. Then we say txt username dot focus, right? So it's just gonna focus on the the username, right? So this is how it works. We have something here, we have something here. When I click on reset, everything clears, and this keeps focusing. Okay, so this is indeed awesome. Now let's see how we could manage to restrict some logins, or let's say secureness. When I click on this guy, it's not going to do anything. So let's try to secure that. First of all, let's double click it. This is what we're going to say. We're going to say that if our txt username.text equals to nothing, and our txt password.text equals to nothing, then all we have to say is it should pop up a message dialog telling the person that no username / password found. You see, then we say maybe all fields required. Good. So I need something like this, and I want to pop up a message box style. So msg box style, right? Dots. Then we're just going to display a critical message. Yeah, so just going to say critical. And now I'm just going to give a heading called error, and this is how it's going to be. Let's see. So I didn't type anything here. I click on login. So you see we have this error sign here. Username or password found, password not found, no username or password found. That is a correct English. All fields required. Okay, so now let's see what if the person types in only one field and leave the other. So we're just gonna say else if txt username dot text equals to nothing, right? Then I'll just copy this message box here and paste it right here. I'll do that right in here, and I would just say no username found, and that would be a critical error as well. So just save that. Let's see. So I type something here, click on this, no username found. So I now have this. Type anything here. See, it's not gonna work. Nothing is going to show. So let's restrict the password as well. So all we have to say is, after this, we just have to say else if txt password dot text equals to nothing as well. Then we just have to pop up the same message, and we're just going to say no password found, just like that. So this is going to be interesting. So all you have to say is you can say that, okay, if the person didn't type any username and password, then we could say txt username dot focus, right? And here too we can say txt username dot focus, and here too we can say txt password dot focus. right? Because you didn't type anything there. So from here, you're just going to say else. Okay, what if the person didn't type what we want him to type there? What message should it pop up, right? So just going to say, okay, let's pop up a message telling him that invalid, right? Invalid username or password found. Then we say please try again, right? Please try again. This is indeed awesome. So let's see, we haven't specified any login details for them. So when I type anything and I type anything here, you see invalid username or password found, right? Okay, so that is it. And let's see. All right, now I would like to try this. I don't think it's gonna work on Mac, on a virtual device or a virtual system. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try. When I go to advanced, I can go to settings and I can add a strange name called username, and I'm just gonna call this password, right? Okay, so with this username and password, I'm just going to leave them to be empty. Okay, let's say this is going to be admin and this is also going to be admin, right? Okay, so based on these two strings we've added so far, let's go back to our codes and let's say, okay, this is what we're going to do. After this else, we're just going to say else. Oh, come on. So let's add this here. It's going to be else. Let's add it here. If our txt username dot text equals to mine dot settings dot, you see that it's not there. So we were supposed to see this guy right here, username, right? But I can't find it, right? Okay guys, if you think you have a solution to this problem, please leave it in a link, leave it in a comment section below. Then I will be very, very much appreciated. Because I'm using VirtualBox, or let's say emulator or anything, whatever so called, I think it's not working, right? So if I could say username, is not gonna work, right? It's not gonna work, right? So I will simply say that if our txt username.text equals to, then I'll just specify like admin, and our txt password.text equals to, then I'll just specify admin. Then only then it should pop up a message dialog, MSG box, and it should tell the person that okay, we just gonna say that okay, logged in successful, right? And this is the message is just gonna pop up, right? Okay, so let's save this and let's delete this guy. We're just gonna say else, and we have to add that end if we delete it here, right? This is awesome. So we have this code right here to restrict the person from not doing the right thing, right? So let's say if I type admin and admin here, which of course is right, click, you see login successful, right? Good. So let's add a dialog to this login successfully. So I'll just say msg box dialog. I'm not just going to use the help, but I'm just going to use information. Then I'm just going to say access granted, right? Okay, so this is what I've done so far. When I type in admin, and admin is just gonna log in. You see the sign? That is very, very interesting. So this is how we do it. Now when I get this wrong, when I just type the wrong thing, then I click on login, it gives me invalid, but this is still there. So let's do that. let's try to reduce this or deduct this by 1 anytime we get it wrong, right? Okay, so this is how we do it. Basically, it's very simple. So here, from where we said you should tell the person that invalid username or password found, please try again, we just have to say that, okay, lbl attempt dot text, which is equals to let's use val. Then we say lbl attempt dot text, lbl attempt. So we're just gonna say that yes, lbl attempts equals to val lbl attempts, just gonna say -1, right? Think, oh come on, dot text, right? Is it dot text? So let's say this is what we have here. Let's see. No. So what do I have here? Oh, okay. So we're just gonna say that what am I missing? Okay. So this thing is messing up. lbl attempt.text equals to, just gonna say lbl attempt.text is gonna be -1, right? So just have to use val. That is a value. So this is the code. So don't know the reason why it was giving me an error from beginning. Oh wow, this is indeed awesome. So let's try this out. See? Okay, so now it's deducted by 1. It's deducted by 1. It's deducted by 1. Okay, so there you go. So 0 minus 1, right? Okay, so let's try to pop up some dialogues and messages based on this. So we're just going to say if lbl attempt.text is greater than, or let's say less than, maybe if it is less than 2 or 3, we're just gonna say let's pop up a message, right? So the message we're just gonna pop up is we're just gonna say attention, you have only 2 attempts left, right? So then we just gonna pop up message box style for it to be information, right? So it's just giving out information, and the heading of this is going to be attention, right? Okay, so let's see how this is going to look like, right? So we type wrong thing, click on login. So we have this, see? Okay, you see, so we have this dialog, attention, you have only 2 attempts left, you see? Okay, so we said if it is less than, right? So we say if it is less than, so instead of less than, we could use, okay, equal sign, then we just add this into, just a string, right? So let's save this and let's start this, something here, so that is it, okay. So you have 2 attempts left, so we just have to say instead of 2 we just have to write 3 here, just have 3 attempts left. Okay, so we're just gonna say else if lbl.text equals to 0, which is 0, then only then we have to say let's pop up a message box style, which I would like not to write again. So this is gonna be all attempt exalted, right? All attempts exalted, or let's say all attempt wasted. Please contact your administrator, right? So after this, we're just gonna say critical, and that is gonna be attention. So let's copy the same thing, and we just have to say, okay, let's paste it again. After this error, we're just gonna say, okay, the same thing. So I'm just gonna say application will now close. So after this message, I'm just gonna say application dot exit, right? So this is how we do it. We do that. So when it reaches to 0, that is what is going to happen. You see? Okay, 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 okay. So you see, all attempt wasted. Please contact your administrator. Application will now close, and then we have the software to be closed, right? Good. But before I go, let me declare some statements right here so that I can use them. So them username as strange, and I will say that dim password as strange, right? So I will say that okay, remind me later. So I'll just say that username. So in here, just in here, before everything, I'll just say that username equals to, that is going to be the admin, right? And I just gonna say, okay, password equals to, and I just gonna say admin, right? Okay, so here, instead of saying admin, I'm just gonna say username, right? And here, instead of saying admin, I'm just gonna say password. Good. And they all works the same because I've just declared them here, so they just gonna work, right? So when I type admin here, admin, they all gonna work. See, login successful. Okay, so guys, I believe we could call this a day. And if you have yet to not subscribe to my YouTube channel, do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you won't be missing any episode. On our next lesson, we're going to see how we could create our forgot password system, right? Or no, let's go by creating account, right? Let's go by creating account UI. Then we see how we could work along with that. My name still remains Microsoft Original, and this is my official channel. Until we meet again, have a nice day, and Microsoft Original is out.